hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT, handing out smackdowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here, no safe space. Now listen in, time to hear from some of the greats.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the War Report After Dark. It's WrestleMania time, folks. We got to go old school.
God damn,
the original WrestleMania. It still gives me goosebumps.
Yes.
But that's what you're supposed to feel when you're a wrestling fan, and we are days away from our Super Bowl. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the War Report After Dark. This is a good one. This is prediction night. This is the take-home show to the big show. Hi, Facebook. I'm going to assume that's Tara. Nice, old school. Yes, we always, if you go back year after year, that's what we start with every show leading into WrestleMania, because to me, that's still the best one that they ever did, is the original. And I see nothing wrong with them going back and using it now, but they won't. So, how's everybody doing? Everyone getting ready?
Oh,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
excited.
Oh, yeah. 1 year anniversary, baby.
You believe it? 1 year anniversary, Mitch got back, or really got into pro wrestling.
Yeah. Thank you, Al, Steve, and Rich, who's not on here.
You are very welcome, my friend. That's one of the proudest things in my life. I must admit.
You picked a good time to be a wrestling fan, so there you go.
That's
Amen.
what I've been told.
That's a true
Oh, Vince?
story.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Vince,
What's up,
what's going
Vince?
on, brother?
Not much. Yeah, my computer's acting up. I think we had a power outage a couple days ago, and when I turned the computer on after the power outage, it's acting slow. So I don't know why. But
Yeah, well, this weather is unbelievable.
yeah, it really stinks, and especially right now. Like it's just nasty and drizzly outside.
And it's going to be like this all week. But it
Better
doesn't
than
matter.
go.
You know why? Because it's WrestleMania week. So who gives a
You're
shit?
yes,
indoors
nah.
anyway. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
This is it. This is what we wait for. This is where all the stories hopefully come to fruition, and then we start fresh. Hopefully the Raw after is better than last year's, because that's one of the biggest Raws of the year. But we got so much to cover. It's just such an exciting time to be a fan, because it is our Super Bowl. I mean, this is what we wait for. And this one, this is a big one. I mean, it's in Philly, which that crowd is always a home run. It's The Rock returning. There's so much going on, so many big matches, and there's going to be a ton of surprises that we don't really even know about yet. But yeah, man, it's exciting. Facebook user sucks that Roman is the one inducting Heyman. There are so many better options. That was from Dave Abbey. You know what? I very much agree. I actually said the same thing to myself when I heard that it was going to be Roman. Why not have Bubba Ray and Devon? You know they're going to be in the area. Why not have them do it?
Yeah.
And that's just one off the top of my head amongst many others. I thought Roman was a weird choice, even though it makes sense because of what's going on story-wise.
Heyman's not supposed to be about storyline.
Well, right. That's kind of where I'm headed. So I kind of I do agree. No, I do. I think that was a bad decision. I don't think Roman's going to do a bad job, but it would not have been my choice. What do you guys think? Vince,
How long have they been together?
Roman and Heyman have been together now. It's got to be at least 3 years, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say
How
3 or 4 years.
many guys has he been with managing for 3 years consecutive?
Brock Lesnar.
Rock is
Yeah,
the only
Brock Lesnar.
one, and he's not going to give a speech.
Yeah, and you can't bring him in because of the whole thing.
Right.
Okay, but it's in Philadelphia. You could have had half of ECW be the ones inducting him.
Right.
Anything
Right,
that's
I mean,
on a good rapport with the WWE and ECW should have been able to be part of that lineage of him, or at least even have ECW and Roman. You could have people that represent the different timelines of his career. Not
Well,
just
now
the-
listen, this is also not to say that towards the end of the speech that a
Yeah.
bunch of the ECW guys don't come out on stage, because one thing we know for sure, from the minute Heyman's name is mentioned till the minute he's off that stage, you are going to hear nothing but ECW chants.
Absolutely.
So that would be a great way to kind of end it if they all kind of came out, whoever was available.
But I just
you
think,
know.
like, eloquent speaking wise or whatever, heck, you could have even had Mick Foley or Tommy Dreamer or something even be
Even Steve
incorporated.
Austin.
Well, yeah, Steve Austin's a good one too. But I will say this. One thing I don't know that we're thinking about too is that Roman does have a very long history with Heyman. Forget about story.
Right.
Correct.
You know, like Heyman has been a part of the You Know Why family really for a very long time. So
Before Roman was even born.
Right.
Yeah.
right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and that's represented in the documentary, which I'm actually watching. I'm almost done with it. I think there's like 20 minutes left. Really well done, by the way.
It
A&E
is,
always does a great job. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that it will be a good speech because there is a lot of history there. I still don't know that would have been the choice
Right.
for me. Dave Abbey over at Facebook, the first Paul Heyman guy in the company can't wrestle right now, and he's pretty good on the mic. Oh, well, that's true. We're not even mentioning CM Punk.
Yeah.
And that's very true too. So, there's a lot of
Yeah, but then what if somebody says something that CM Punk doesn't like and he almost murders them on live TV? Ooh,
Ooh, thank you, Tony Khan.
that fucking interview. Sorry, I can't even. Philip Brooks is the biggest bitch I've ever seen in my life. I don't think I've ever come to a day where I thought that I would enjoy Bryan Danielson as a person more than CM Punk. Phil Brooks is the biggest bitch in the world after that interview because he self-reported that he assaulted somebody, and then he was like, "It's not a real company." Well, a real HR department fired you, so fuck off, Phil. Anyway, we'll get to that. Phil, damn. I think Bubba, I think Team 3D would have been a great choice. I think Tommy Dreamer, especially, I don't know what the relationship was like now, but I think it would have been a nice kind of closure for Tommy Dreamer.
I didn't mention Tommy Dreamer only because I don't know what kind of terms they're on.
Exactly, yeah.
But he, in essence, is another one who is going to be in the area because Busted Open Radio on satellite, those three are on the show. They're doing a pregame,
Right. And they're gonna
free,
be there, like,
by the way.
they're part of the press for WrestleMania. It's like
Right.
getting the press involved leading up to the Super Bowl.
and they're doing
It's-
it
yeah.
for free. It's free for anybody that's in the area that wants to go, which is kind of cool too. But Dave Abbey's right. Dreamer
Yeah.
wanted to shoot him at one point, so
Yes,
I
he
don't
did.
know if they've mended fences or not. And that's for
Listen,
them to know. That
is not the first time that I've heard stories of Tommy wanting to kill
Yeah.
somebody. Like, that's the big notable story, but I've heard ones of, like, there is a situation backstage where Vince McMahon was yelling at somebody who happened to be an ECW original, and Tommy came up on the conversation, but he came from behind Vince, and he made eye contact with the ECW guy, looked over to I guess a table or something next to him, had one of those old school, the TV monitors they used to keep in the desks. There was one of those on a table. Tommy looked at the guy, looked at the TV thing, and did one of these. He's like, "You want me to hit him?" And if the guy's like, "No, that's Vince McMahon, don't hit him." But if the guy said yes, Tommy Dreamer just would have hit Vince McMahon in the head with the thing. Tommy's a
listen,
special dude, man.
Tommy's and listen, and he's still
He's
doing
fiercely
it.
loyal. And that's the
He
problem.
is.
It was out of loyalty. It wasn't like he wanted to kill Vince McMahon. It was like, hey, he's yelling at my friend. I want to beat him up.
He's from Long Island. What the hell do you expect?
Oh,
And Vince Tyra commented, "Don't get me started on Punk."
We'll
So-
get to that whole interview thing.
We'll get
It's
to that.
just
And
unbelievable.
I know we're kind of jumping around too, but I mentioned the A&E documentary on Roman. So I do also want to mention, and I'm sure everyone here, and listen, one thing we always say over and over and over again is WWE production is just out of bounds. There's nobody that can touch them in anything. They are just so good at what they do. The Bray Wyatt documentary on Peacock is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. And I don't know if listen, we all know that I was one of the biggest Bray Wyatt guys for a long time. I never gave up hope that there was going to be a full circle moment, kind of deal.
Right.
It was so well done. Anybody that gets through that documentary that doesn't, that didn't cry at all
They're not human.
You're just not human. She's right. It was so well done, and the greatest thing, if you haven't watched it, make sure you watch the credits, because at the very end,
right,
you get an inkling that Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, is going to carry on the legacy, and they're going to do something fucking huge to carry on Bray Wyatt's aura and everything else. And I wouldn't be shocked if Alexa Bliss wasn't a part of that.
Right. Because she's starting to get back in the ring now.
She's starting to train again. So that's a matter of time. Maybe possibly Raw after Mania, always a big show. But if they do it right, Dave Abbey does not agree. Dear God, no. I think, when you listen to it, right, and you hear him speak, he sounds just like his brother.
That I did not expect, was hearing all the interviews and the comments from him.
Right. So I feel like a lot of it, you're gonna see Bray in Bo, if that makes sense. I don't know. Bray was taken way too soon. If there's some sort of way we can carry on his legacy through a family member and give Bo Dallas the shot that he always deserved, because he never really, I mean, the Bo leave thing, come on, that wasn't going anywhere. I think I'm hopeful that it could be something, and I could be wrong. It could be fucking horrible, and then I'll be on here telling Dave Abbey that I agree. But I think that there's potential for it to be something good. And if you haven't seen the documentary, it's 2 hours long, and you wish it was longer. I mean, there's nothing else complimentary you could say about that.
How insane was that new gear that he was working on, Steve?
That would have been something.
With the whole mask of JoJo behind the face and everything.
I thought that was a good idea.
It kind of reminded me a lot of It. Like when its mouth opens and you saw those long fangs, that kind of reminded, and that thing of JoJo in the back. What a fucking brilliant idea. That would have been.
The dates and everything on it. I never noticed the Roman numerals on anything. That was incredible.
Or all the kids' names embedded somewhere in the gear and all that. And it really is so good, and it makes you miss him so much. He's definitely gone. Never, ever will be forgotten. The
funny thing is, we all thought he was this creative genius with just the stuff he did in the ring and all that, and then to hear the ideas and see the concepts, and you see the notebook,
you
and
could
all
see the wheels going,
and the paintings and everything. It was insane to think how freaking brilliant he truly was with all the stuff that he came up with.
But even the beginning, right? Like, he's trying to figure out who he's going to be, and then they make him Husky Harris, and that was just a joke. And then he gets an opportunity to create, and he takes from Waylon Mercy, and he takes from Husky Harris and all the characters, and you see it all coming to life, and how he's all the ties to all the generation of Wyatt, and then the beginning of I Want Harper, and then forming the Wyatts and seeing that they, dude, it was so fucking good, man. He was you know, he went around saying he was an artist, and there's no truer form of being an artist than Bray Wyatt. He
Correct.
was just unbelievable in what he was able to accomplish, especially at a young age, and taken way too soon.
And then, hysterically enough, I think my favorite part is when he said that he was at Madison Square Garden backstage and he saw his dad taking a pit stop from the Nasty Boys, and he wanted to get in the ring. He had to be held back by wrestlers and his mother because he wanted to go beat up Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sags for giving his father a pit stop.
And that's when he knew he wanted to be a wrestler.
And that's when he got the bug. It was hilarious. Absolutely priceless.
Well, I know what I'm watching after the show.
Dude, you won't regret it. It's so well done.
It was classic.
Steve,
I've never seen anything like that.
Speaking of the Bushwhackers, didn't one of them hit on Stacy?
No, that was the Nasty Boys.
Oh, it was the Nasty Boys, rather. I'm sorry, the Nasty
Boys.
Yeah.
That was Jerry Sags.
Yep.
And then a couple of a year or two later, when I met the Nasty Boys,
he remembered her.
Yeah, because I was just trying to describe her, and then I showed him the picture. He's like, "Oh yeah, how is she?"
Yeah.
God damn.
Oh, Steve,
he flat out asked me. He's like, "You sure I can't? Just for one night?" I was like, "No, man, I'm good.
Yeah.
Thanks."
No, I got to invite you over for a barbecue first, and then you can sleep with my wife. God damn.
It's usually how it works. You got to break bread with me first,
right? Yeah, we got to have ribs first or something. I don't know.
Steve, I bet you wish you would have had her being pit stopped.
I was just thinking that. How much for her to get Pity City now, man? That would have been good.
He'll take the money and run.
I was all for it then, and I'm all for it now, and then some. Let me tell you.
Oh man,
Dave Abbey over at
Eric
Facebook.
said it, not me. I'm not getting in trouble tonight.
Dave says over at Facebook, what's even more amazing is that he was able to be so creative with Vince at the helm. I mean, that's very true. Think about that. You know what I mean?
I have a little bit of a theory on that.
Go for it.
It's
you promised him young
he's
girls?
He's a second. No, yeah, you're gonna shit on their head. No, it was that. I want you to put a swirly chocolate soft serve right on the top of that girl's head. But no, it was that
steamer.
Yeah, we're gonna give her a Cleveland steamer. Yeah. No, he was a second generation wrestler, and I think the second and third generation wrestlers like Randy Orton, especially Roman Reigns. Yeah, Reigns is third generation, but those guys got more leeway, and even like Cody at the end of Vince's run. Cody was getting a lot of leeway because he was a second generation guy. So I think I think the second generation wrestlers get a little more space from Vince creatively, and then people who were like coming up through NXT who maybe were just like former basketball players or whatever, or collegiate wrestlers, he was more micromanaging on.
And if you think about it, at the end of the day, everything he was pitching was working. So why wouldn't you let him continue to do it?
Exactly.
And, he got it over, and it wasn't difficult.
When you're in NXT and you cut a promo and they say cut, and the first words out of Dusty Rhodes' mouth is, "That was an excellent, perfect promo. I wouldn't change a thing."
I think I could have retired from wrestling after hearing that. I would have just left the building and be like, guys,
then Vince McMahon would be a fucking idiot to change anything. But there's even, like I said, there's moments where Dusty tells him that was perfect. We're not doing it again. Leave it.
Yeah, I mean, that was just because the way he was able to put the promos together, even if he had to like improvise or pivot or whatever, it never felt like it was a line or a script or something. Yes, as opposed to Karrion Kross, who every time I see him, I don't know. First of all, his hair's short, his hair's long, his hair's curly, his hair's straight, his teeth are small, his teeth are big. What's the deal with this Karrion Kross guy? He has too many different looks. He needs to settle on one look.
You know what the one constant is, though? He gets to bang Scarlett. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think comparing the two spooky characters of Karrion Kross and Bray Wyatt, just Bray Wyatt, the way he was able to deliver it, and just the laid back kind of, the swamp guy, yeah, man, kind of that down home. Just it's way more. It's way, to me, somebody who's so calm like that when they're able to talk, and then he does, he got more intense or he got more sinister, but just somebody who's able to talk about violence at such a calm level. That's that's more of a scary thing than somebody's like, "I'm gonna get you." It's like, no.
He had the whole Jake the Snake Roberts thing going on for him.
Right. And I
Where
don't know,
everyone
Karrion
else
Cross
is yelling into the camera, he's psychologically talking to you.
I speak low so people listen.
See,
Right.
now this I will never disagree with Dave on. They turned a killer into a
Aw, dude,
gladiator.
they
it was the
ruined-
Yeah.
dumbest thing they ever did.
And I don't know if he still hasn't bounced back.
No. Well, he has sort of
Yeah,
with this
yeah.
crew now and bringing in Ellering and the other two, and I mean they were dominant this week finally. So I mean they're starting to do something, and he's not
And they got a
necessarily
match at
losing.
WrestleMania now.
Right. So I mean, at least it looks like things are headed in the right direction. We'll see how long that lasts, but I mean, it's
We really are shoehorning everybody into WrestleMania this year, huh?
I don't care.
Well,
Like
Paul
everybody,
Heyman's back.
I
don't
think
give a shit.
you know
I mean-
what though, they're all getting a payday of some sort, so you can't
Right.
shit on that.
yeah, no, I get that, but also just like I
Now
don't know.
this is another good point too.
Oh, they haven't explained Ellering at all. Yeah,
They really didn't like. Well, the only tie with Ellering is that he was the leader of the other two. So
the AOP, right?
right, AOP. So
But all they have to do,
AOP, yeah.
really, they have the footage. WWE owns the footage of almost every wrestling match the Legion of Doom and the / Road Warriors were in. All
Right.
they need to do is pull up some footage of pretty Paul Ellering managing them back then, and what he was able to do.
As long as it's not the ones when he had Rocco.
Yeah, I was going to say Rocco needs to go. The puppet needs to go. But just a little package for this guy. Just show a little package. I'm glad everybody thinks the same thing. Just show a little video thing. Make sure no Rocco, and you're golden. And he could even explain if he's really I don't know if Cross is the leader, or I don't know if Ellering is the leader, or I don't know if Cross is the leader with Ellering being like his guidance kind of guy, like a second, like the hand.
I think it's kind of like a Roman Heyman
wise man?
situation.
His Wiseman.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it would be interesting to have that recap of him going like because he has this he has a very distinct delivery. Like, I manage the Road Warriors. He has this weird way of speaking, and he could do that and like talk about the Road Warriors, and we'll cut to them, and then cut to the AOP and NXT and all that stuff, and like the War Games match they were in or whatever, and then he could like state a purpose. Like I need a mission statement from these guys. I don't know what it is. I just need Paul Ellering to tell me what Karrion Cross. First of all, why are these? How did he meet two guys that are like Dutch or Swedish or something, and like they were fired for 3 years while he was in the company? I just need a little bit of something to get more behind what's going on here.
And the faction name is badass.
What's the name of it?
The
is
Final
a-
Testament.
That's not bad. It's really not bad. That's mad decent.
Yeah, I mean they've done much worse. I mean that's
Well,
definitely-
I still am not behind. I still think the Judgment Day is a silly name, but here we are.
it's grown on me. It's at this point, it's grown on me.
But the League
But that's-
of Nations.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next faction, the Royal Rumbles.
What is this? West Side Story?
The Summer Slams.
The Summer Slams, yes.
Well, so we are. We're at Mania. I mean,
Yep.
I guess we should talk about.
We got one
um,
SmackDown, and that's it.
We have one SmackDown. Raw was pretty good last night. A lot of build. SmackDown was good leading in. So this is it. We got one more show, and then it's the granddaddy of them all. Should we start going over the picks and breaking everything down? Because there's a lot of matches to go over.
Yeah, and I was going to say I probably only know the main event ones.
Or
just
did you
because-
want me to get out
Oh,
of pay my
Oh,
well,
get this
well,
out of his system.
So
first.
hold on.
Yeah.
Let Eric go on his rant. But while he's doing that, if somebody wants to pull up the full card,
Yeah, perfect. That's good.
and then we'll go from there. So Eric, the floor is yours.
Vince, you
Okay.
got it?
I a few weeks back, I did my whole rant on the Hall of Fame for those that were announced at that point. A couple of more since, right? Now, before I get to the main one that I think you know who I'm talking about, and it's, a person that's related to someone that's, making a big comeback at this WrestleMania. The first one, Thunderbolt Patterson. A lot of people don't know much about him because he's old school, but he is an important figure, especially in black wrestlers, because he was big in like the civil rights movement and stuff like that. Took the helm from like guys like Bobo Brazil and Sailor Art Thomas and guys like that. And I don't know how many people know this, but he's basically what I'm trying to say is you have Dusty Rhodes because of Thunderbolt Patterson. He took like the whole persona. Dusty's whole thing was Thunderbolt Patterson, if you look back. So we can thank him for Dusty Rhodes, and I guess in turn for Cody, and we'll see. But it all connects to Roman, because the next person I'm talking about is Leah Maivia. Now, we all know that's The Rock's grandmother, but if you watch Young Rock, you'll know that she, along with being married to Rock's grandfather, Peter Maivia, she ran territory. She ran the whole Hawaiian territory. She's an important figure.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of people saying, oh, Rock is, doing this whole nepotism thing or whatever.
It's not nepotism. I mean, let's be real here. What happened was when The Rock got signed on to be on the board of directors or whatever, shortly before the whole Vince thing happened, I'm sure part of him signing on, which included him getting the rights to his name, The Rock, and all that other stuff. One of them was, I get to pick the Hall of Fame this year, or at least I get to pick, a handful of them, because I think Thunderbolt Patterson was a Rock pick because, like you said, of him being a black wrestler and the civil rights movement and all that. And then Leah Maivia. I think this was pretty much a hand-picked Hall of Fame from The Rock, if I had to guess.
Yeah. And that's okay, but for people to say that she holds no importance in wrestling.
No, that's ridiculous. She was the first female promoter of men's wrestling. Moolah was promoting women's wrestling, and there were other women promoters, I'm sure, promoting women's wrestling. But she was the first woman to own a wrestling promotion in the way that, a Vince McMahon or Jim Crockett.
Like her character portrayed on Young Rock, she was like one of the boys, basically.
Oh, for sure, she could hang. Because here's the thing: if you married a wrestler and you stayed home and you weren't like involved in the wrestling business, you could be a pretty normal person. But if you married a wrestler and then you're on the road with them, or you're promoting shows and you're in the locker room and stuff, you gotta be, you gotta be one of the boys. You gotta be ride or die. Like, you just gotta be down for. Like, if you're not down for it, it's not for you. So,
but for so basically, what I'm trying to say is, for the people that are mad at this whole thing because it's Rock's, like, okay, congratulations, you just worked yourself into a shoot.
It's right, and it's like I don't know, it's the WWE Hall of Fame. Like, honest to God, I've looked at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions every year for the last however many years and been like, why did any of these people go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? So I think every Hall of Fame has its critics anyway. There's always going to be somebody complaining that somebody should be in the hall or shouldn't be in the hall. Pete Rose, at this point, Pete Rose should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. That's my, I don't give a shit about him gambling. So it's stuff like that. So it's a similar situation. I just think it's just a portion of the internet that wants to complain.
And one more thing about the WWE Hall of Fame specifically is that at this point, and I'm sure a lot of you are the same, I've made peace with the fact of with the way it is. It for the longest time it was, if you really think about it, the actual Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club, in a way. It's what they felt like, and it's never like, we can complain all night and day about, like, oh, so and so should have been inducted years ago, whatever. It's not the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame; it's the WWE Hall of Fame, and they brought
right. It's a difference. It's a difference in philosophy. Whoever made an impact on WWE versus who made impact on wrestling as a whole. For those people, for those of you who don't know, there was something called the Cauliflower Alley Club, and every year there's a convention in Las Vegas, and they vote a Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, and there are several honors and honorees and all that, and the inductees are the people you would expect. It's guys from the NWA and the AWA and World Class and Florida and everywhere else that didn't get Portland, whatever, that didn't get the recognition and didn't get the fame of the WWF or the WWE. So that's out there for you. If you're interested in a wrestling and in, was it upstate New York somewhere? There is a physical professional wrestling Hall of Fame. It's not exactly a grand building or anything.
The Luthez and George Tragos one or something.
Right. It's a small setup from what I understand, but it does have like artifacts from a lot of notable pro wrestlers. So there's stuff to check out. Like if you're going to complain, you can find alternatives, for what you're looking for.
And also regarding WWE in recent years, they've included a lot of guys that had zero stuff to do with WWE.
Well, they started doing the Major League Baseball started doing this too. They're putting in legacy inductees, and WWE started doing that a couple years as well.
I mean, look, they put in Sting, Abdullah the Butcher,
right. Abdullah never wrestled for WWE at all. So
like Jushin Thunder Liger,
Yeah, so they it just depends. I think it depends on who they have a relationship with and who they have the rights to show footage to, or like if somebody wants to do it. A lot of times people turn it down.
At this point, it's just pointless to make the complaints anymore. Like it is what it is. Enjoy it for what it is.
Right. Steve, you go back to the comment that you showed. Who? I'm sorry, but Ava Simone was nepotism. I don't disagree.
That was Tara.
You know what? I get that, but at the same time, it's a fucking fake position that she's in. That's not
right.
nepotism.
I mean, just the idea of her getting a job with WWE
it's
is.
not like she has it's a real position.
No. Whatever position she has is fictional.
GM of NXT. It's a fake.
That's just their way of finding something for her to do.
Because obviously, like they've tried to get her to write. It's obvious they've tried several things, and none of them are sticking with her.
She should be ventriloquist though, because like her mouth does not move.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me. I thought you were going to tell me she should be the dummy because she looks like Charlie McCarthy. That's a reference for old people. Nobody knows who Charlie McCarthy is anymore. I'm sorry. That was for my grandparents who are dead. I know it's fake, but still, I know it's terrible. It's more of the idea of the idea of her getting, because you want to give him a chance. Any of the wrestlers who have kids that want to be wrestlers, I want to give them a chance. Like Brian.
That will never get old.
Never.
And what makes it is the please after it.
Shoes, please. Yeah.
Dave Abbey is sadly I do. All right.
So that's that.
Rant's over. Let's move on from Hall of Fame and let's talk about night 1 and night 2 of Wrestle Fucking Mania.
Eric, say it after me. Serenity now.
Serenity now.
Who's got it pulled up?
Oh, I've got a. Let's see. I'm just going to read it the way it's listed on Wikipedia. I don't know if this is the official order, but it seems like somebody has some sort of order set up.
And
Rhea
Ripley
Ripley
change anyway.
Yeah, they released
Night
one
one.
Saturday and Sunday. They just didn't give the order of the matches. Yeah.
Right. So this is just in the order that somebody who edited Wikipedia put it in. Rhea Ripley defends her women's championship against Becky Lynch. What do we think here?
That's a tough one, man. I part of me wants Rhea to keep it, but I think it's going to Becky.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I want Rhea to retain, but I think it's going to Becky.
I think Becky's got to put her over, man. For me, just logistically thinking about the future, you got to have Becky put her over. That's what she's here for now.
Oh boy.
It's a boy. It's our boy, man. What's up, David? Yeah.
David Roscoe, what's up? What's up? Tiffany Stratton is no Nadia Comaneci and Trish Stratus.
But she's trying to. That's the thing, man. You see where they're going with this. Comaneci.
Whatever.
She wants to. They do want. David's
You
right.
don't pronounce the I.
It's weird though. Then why? They are positioning this Tiffany as like the next one up. As like a potential main event or world champion for the women. So,
you know what? I didn't like her at first, but she's grown on me, and
I thought she stunk, so maybe she's
improved a lot,
which is great because she had a moonsault one time that I think almost killed somebody. Who said double turn in the Becky Rhea match?
Dave Abbey said double turn.
Yeah, and you know what? Double turn would be fine Because if that cements, because the crowd's already cheering for Rhea Ripley, so if that just cements the turn, that's fine. And just speaking of, Shifting Trident is not accomplished in women's gymnastics. Yeah, well, I mean, nobody's the perfect 10. Nadia Comaneci, David. We know this. She's the only one in history.
Sean Spears, maybe, but
Sean Spears, right? But they've planted. It seems like they've planted the seeds of Dominic leaving Judgment Day for Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah. Is the Judgment Day going to disband? Like if Rhea loses, and then Finn and Damian are
Oh wow!
Like, and then
And
Ray's.
Yeah, and then
going,
he'd be the only one. Priest would be the only one with a championship if he cashes in.
And then JD's just all alone.
well, we'll
again.
get to that.
Oh wow! Yeah.
There's so many
That's good.
possibilities. That is good. All right, what's next? Oh, Al, did you pick?
I'm with Vince, man. I'm definitely gonna go with my girl Rhea. I think it'll be wrong to take the belt off of her right now in the wave she's riding.
Yeah.
And again, like it's only right? Because Becky's had her moment. You know, like I think she should keep her moment and keep riding this wave.
And if anything pushed her towards the babyface thing, it's the stink face recently.
Right. It seems like she's incorporating more of that stuff, babyface stuff.
Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins will win for Will Ferrell on night 1. What? All right. Well, we'll get to Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, but I don't know what that means.
That's
So
got to be that's got to be some
he's-
deep reference
he's-
that I don't
yeah.
understand right now.
he's jumping the gun.
Yeah,
All right.
we're almost there.
But in response to like the stink face thing and everything, Rhea is like the big crowd favorite with the interaction at the house shows right now. They're all over her.
I thought you were
and
going
her
to say she was the big attraction for bisexuals.
Well, that too.
Well, that too.
That's been blatantly obvious for a while that a lot of genders don't want to kick her out of their bed. So
Yeah.
that's
Well,
nothing
next
She's
match.
mommy to a lot of people.
Yeah. Mommy is a gender neutral phrase. It's like Poppy, you know, anybody could be Poppy. Anyway, next match, Gunther defending his Intercontinental Championship against Sami Zayn.
I think after what we just saw on Raw, I think Sami Zayn is dethroning Gunther.
It's Rocky, dude. They're literally
Yep.
it's
Even
he
the video,
gave-
just like we said it last week, you were like, they're going to do the whole Rocky kind of video, and they did.
And they did, but then they continued it because they did a scene from Rocky, but
Yep.
instead of it being Adrian in the hospital bed, or whatever it was, I'm scared, okay? I don't want to, you know, that was that speech, but it was with Shush.
That's
it was
so
with Chad
funny.
Gable. Like so as soon as I saw like the what they were setting up with the training montage, and then they went and did I'm scared, okay? I don't want to let my family down. Once they did that, I'm like, oh, he's winning. Because, you know,
It was
like
great.
all they need is Sly to come out and go, you get knocked down 5 times, you get up 6. You know what I mean? I just want him to go and hype up Sami.
He's gonna cut a promo with Sammy.
Yes.
It ain't no
Sammy.
sunshine and rainbows.
Does anybody not think that Sammy's winning?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
And there was,
I mean,
if you asked me before that segment, absolutely, I thought Gunther would hold this title for 1,000 years, but no.
that's funny.
Yeah,
All
not
right.
after last night, no way.
And Gunther, you got to remember, he's going to be just fine because they're definitely gearing for him to be world champion one
Well,
day.
listen,
he's getting-
I was saying it to Mitch before we went live. The IC title is always the title that catapulted you to the next level. So once you're done as an IC champion, you're going towards that world title.
Unless you're Zack.
And Gunther is ready for a world title run.
I think Gunther feuds with Cody and takes the belt off of him eventually, because I just have this image of Cody with the blonde hair, but the little red streak of blood in it, and then a whole bunch of chop prints on his chest, and he's like crying again because that's what Cody does, and like he's looking at him and he's grabbing the scruff and he's like trying to climb up because he wants to still fight, and Gunther just chops him again and then power bombs him and then wins, and like and then they're gonna do they'll do Rocky 4 because they're doing Rocky 2 or 3 with Sammy, so they'll do Rocky 4 with Cody. I still want the thing. Can we get Brigitte Nielsen? Can we get Brigitte Nielsen?
If he dies,
Is it
he dies.
possible?
That would be great.
I still
That would
want
be
Oh my God.
Imperium in lab coats with clipboards analyzing Gunther's performance. I just want that.
Whatever he
I
gets,
want
he destroys.
he destroys. Yes, I love that fucking movie.
That is
Anyway,
a great movie. What's the next one?
Judgment
I
Day.
can't watch it since Carl Weathers died, man. It's like
Oh,
Apollo's
man.
really dead.
Oh, I know. Oh, geez, yeah, that's a rough one to watch. Seeing him getting killed is different. Yeah, even Predator might be weird now. Judgment
Yeah, but
Day
living
defends
that
their.
scene always made me cry to begin with. So now it's like even 10 times worse.
Oh yeah. Oh, that thing. Yeah, that whole thing with Apollo. Oh, oof, that's
Yeah,
a rough
with
one.
James
Because then the
Brown
coach.
and everything.
Right, he comes out living in America, but then the coach, the bald-headed coach, is holding. Oh, the whole thing.
Throw
is-
the
and
damn
then that-
towel.
yeah, and then that coach helps Rocky win, and it's. I mean, it's great, but it's yeah.
It's like no
Um,
matter what, and he's like talking to his wife.
Right. Yeah. No
Ah!
matter what. No. Yeah. Ugh. Judgment Day defends their undisputed tag team championships. DIY, Awesome Truth, New Day being Kofi and Woods, and A-Town Down Under, which must be Autumn's most favorite tag team, but it is
Wait,
my
what are the teams
least
again?
favorite tag team. And New Catch Republic. So it's Judgment Day, DIY, Awesome Truth, New Day, A-Town Down Under, and New Catch Republic.
I got Awesome Truth.
I'm going
Yeah.
with Awesome Truth.
Awesome Truth is the
Absolutely.
way to
Yeah,
go.
awesome truth.
But
I
here's
think
the
he's
thing.
so over
It's gonna
now.
be A-Town Down Under. And it's gonna
Ugh.
suck.
The rules of the
They're
match.
not
hold on.
winning. They are
The-
not winning.
Steve,
No.
the rules of the match stipulate it is not one team winning once the belts are pulled down. Both sets of belts will be up. And if one set of belts gets pulled down, you're the SmackDown champion. If another team gets it, they're Raw champion. So there's a
Oh.
potential they're going to split the titles.
Really?
Yes,
Is that how
they
it
said-
goes?
I
the
didn't
match,
know that.
So
Yeah.
the match will end
Okay.
after both titles under the Undisputed Championship banner. The Raw and SmackDown titles have been retrieved, making it possible for the titles to split between two teams.
Then I could see
Okay,
the
so I'm
Awesome
saying
Truth keeping.
DIY for one side and Awesome Truth for the other title. Then
No,
It-
I'm,
it-
no,
I think
I'm
they're
going
gonna
with.
do a heel and a face team.
I think they're going to do
So-
Judgment Day keeps one set and Awesome Truth wins the other set.
It kind
Priest
of
has to-
reminds me of when Kurt Angle lost 2 titles without even being pinned for either
Yeah.
in that triple threat with Jericho and Benoit.
That
No,
was
but
the triple
you
threat that I.
need Judgment Day to lose in order for Damien to have a cash in.
I could see A-Town, whatever.
Why?
Yeah,
He
winning
could be.
the
He could be
second.
both. Why would he have to lose? Why would he
I
have to
don't see
lose?
them. I don't see them
think-
having them making him work do both. Not that it's not possible. for
I
him to
feel
do
like
it. I
if
think
Priest
he's
is going to win the if Priest is going to win the title, he's going to they're dropping the tag titles.
got to drop.
All
Yeah,
together.
exactly.
Well, Judgment Day is gonna disband, so
So you think Priest
That's-
is winning the title? Well, we'll get there.
It could be. But
Yeah,
even
we'll
if
get
he's
there.
not, I still think that having, like you said, splitting it up and having a babyface team like the Awesome Truth and then a heel team like A-Town Down Under, I don't like that name at all. That's right up there with New Catch Republic. As what the hell is a New Catch Republic?
Who even is that team?
A-Town Down Under is Austin Theory and
No, I know
Grayson
that team.
Waller.
Who's the other
oh,
one?
Oh, New Catch
Tyler
Republic.
Bate
That's,
and Pete Dunne.
Yeah,
Dunne
Pete Dunne
and
and
Bate.
what's his name?
Tyler Bate.
Thank
had-
you.
There are
I
better
like them a
names.
lot. I just didn't know the name at all.
Dave Abbey, 3 years ago, I would have loved DIY winning. You know what? I happen to agree. They're not the same that they were in NXT.
Right.
No.
Like, they don't do it for me.
At all.
No.
The
I
next
just like that they're
one,
friends
Tara's
work
going with
together.
DIY.
Kira's going to yeah, and David seems to think there will be a cash. We'll get to the cash.
Yeah,
in,
we'll get to that.
But I
Well,
don't
I
disagree.
agree.
Jay Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Surprising to me, there's no stipulation for this match. It's not last man standing or falls count anywhere or bloodline rule. It's a straight up singles match.
I
Jimmy
think
Uso-
Jay-
Loser gets,
I think
loser
Jay
gets
goes
straight
over.
faced by their father.
I think Jade's going over.
I think it's got to be Jay.
Yeah, I
Jay,
mean,
it's
yeah.
got to be Jay.
Main event Jay Uso.
It has to be Jay, so but I'm kind of torn about the fact that I think it might.
that's
be
I feel like Jay's gotten so
All their
over.
fears.
Jay's
Yep.
been so over that maybe they need to give this one to Jimmy so he can catch up.
exactly.
Or no, but
Yeah.
here's the other
They
thing.
ride the wave.
Jay needs to win so Jimmy's loses so Roman there's more tension
It's
between
not.
Roman and Jimmy, right?
Oh,
We're gonna
Because I
see
mean,
it
speaking,
in
you're
research.
talking about the Judgment Day disbanding as if the bloodline isn't on thin ice right now, too.
And
well, so the Jimmy J match is on night one.
Yes.
You said. So
That's
then
what- yeah,
you're
that's
right.
what it
I
looks
might
like.
go more with the Jay thing because that might be interesting then for the bloodline match on Sunday.
Right, who shows up? Because maybe Roman
Right.
is sick of Jimmy and he's
Kicks him out.
kicks him out.
Correct. Yep.
Oh, but oh
And he's not a
god,
bloodline member. And
he's
trying to
not a
get back
bloodline
in,
member. That means he can interfere. Oh,
And he tries to go.
Well,
get to the
that's-
good
all
side
right.
of
Well,
it.
we got to. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there.
This is becoming General Hospital.
What's next?
I feel like Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny with the fucking board behind me. The next one is a 6-woman race war tag team match. It's the Asians against the African Americans.
Oh shit!
It's just what it is. It's Bianca, Jade, and Naomi because they had nothing better for 3 black girls to do than form a trios team because that's what they always do when they have 3 minorities that can't have, they have the nation, they were just like, hey, what are all these doing? We can form the Nation of Domination or whatever. Like, it's just
Jade
like,
looked good though. Jade looked good though.
And the funny thing, I like who shared it with the triple. They all did the triple WrestleMania sign point, and then somebody photoshopped in R-Truth pointing with them.
R-Truth.
And that made it for me because I'm like, all right, I'm down. If they make
Love
their
it.
entrance, could you? Okay, the funniest thing would be, and I know this is after the ladder match, so this could still happen. They play the music. A storm is coming, and R-Truth comes out dressed like Jade.
That would be amazing.
Oh, my bad, and just leave. Oh,
That's funny.
oh, geez. So I think
That's my screen.
Bianca, Jade, and Naomi have to win this match, right?
No,
Yes,
yeah,
there's no
Jade's
way
losing the
Jade
first
doesn't
day.
lose, and
Yes.
Jade's getting the pin too.
Of course.
Oh yeah, Jade will get the pin. Who
That
who
pop-up
can-
power bomb is impressive, by the way.
Dakota's
Dakota-
getting pinned.
She looked good
Kai can
on
take the
on Monday.
pinfall.
She looked good.
I mean, she's ripped. I mean, you can shred cheese on her abs. It's crazy. And not that the other two were slouches, but like, I mean, she comes out and I mean, she's instantly credible, at least physically. You have to see her work a match to get more of a sense of that. But just like, she's always had an
But
aura.
you know what? That's why this is the perfect
Yeah.
storm.
Right,
the
yeah, you
perfect
don't do a
way
singles-
because she's not in a singles match. She doesn't have to do much. She'll be the last one in, and she'll just dominate and get the pin.
That was
And-
why I didn't like people saying, "Oh, what's Jade's match going to be? Is she going to go against Bianca or whatever?" Why are the women's tag belts being defended? Because frankly, I think everybody in the world forgot they existed.
Pretty much.
I don't know. Like,
I don't think anyone gives a shit.
there's room
Okay.
for. I mean, yeah. It doesn't. I don't think
All
anybody
of
gives enough
Damage
for
Control
sure.
can't lose in the same weekend.
All of Judgment Day might.
Yeah, I mean, that Judgment Day and
I mean,
Damage
dropping
Control and the
titles-wise,
Bloodline.
I mean,
Roman is
Right.
not losing. I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead.
I know, but here's the thing, dude.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I
This is the other
said-
one. This is the next one where they didn't have anything for a bunch of people of the same race to do for WrestleMania, so they just threw them together. The LWO against Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom.
Well, this has been building
Damn.
for a while now.
It ain't even all the same race. Some of them are it's Puerto Ricans and Mexicans.
Yeah, but they just put they just put that L in the front of it, and they're like, you count. You're Latin something. I was talking with my friend the other day who's Hispanic about this, and we thought it was funny. We're like, Latin X feels like they put a math equation at the end because X is a variable. So like Latin X is like
Solve for
right. You solve for X, and X is whatever you want it to be. So like we got
You just made the list.
we're very
Oh my
progressive
God.
around here. I'm trying to explain it, grammar to everybody. But I mean, Ray wins, right? Ray's team wins, or does he put over
They
his
have
son at
to.
WrestleMania?
I don't know.
I think Escobar
I think
and
Dom
Dominic
gets his
win.
win.
I think
Legado
Escobar's
gets
team.
invited to be on Legado del
What's his name?
Cosmo.
Escobar?
And then they're going to bring on Johnny with him.
Dom, yes, because if Dom wins and he's the only one from Judgment Day that wins all of WrestleMania, then
Oh,
there's
shit.
even more tension. They get rid of him,
Right.
Or he leaves
or he
He
leaves
joins
willingly.
Escobar.
Right.
because he goes to a winning team.
Yes. But does that mean that Damian Priest doesn't cash in? I guess we'll find out once we go through this stuff. Oh my God. Did everybody make a pick for that match?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. Main event. We only have 7 matches the first night, 6 matches the second. The Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins in a tag team match where if Rhodes and Rollins win, all members of the Bloodline will be barred
Rock's
from
not
ringside.
losing.
I cannot imagine that The Rock and Roman are not victorious on night 1 because you have to have the Bloodline rules match. Because mentally, you're going to say there's absolutely no way that Cody's going to be able to win, but he's going to overcome all the odds, and we'll get to night 2. But I got to go with The Rock and Roman 1,000% night 1.
I'm
Same.
with Steve.
Ditto.
Yeah, but also I don't know, man. So David, obviously, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Here's my thing about that. There was that conversation between Paul Heyman and Drew McIntyre in the background. I don't know. No, so that's what it's going to be. It's going to be Seth Rollins gets jumped by Drew McIntyre, and they pin Drew. So you don't see Cody get pinned, and you don't see The Rock or Roman get pinned night 1. So you tune in to see somebody get a definitive pin night 2. Still makes Seth Rollins looks like a piece of shit, but yeah, I don't
anyway.
Yeah, I mean I really don't see a way that this. The only way I could see it going the other way, where where it's just a straight up match, Cody and Seth wins, whether it's via DQ or whether it's via surprise roll up or something. That would put the title match night 2 in doubt for me, because if it's a straight up match with no members of the Bloodline allowed, then if Jay gets kicked out of the Bloodline, then he can still interfere. Or if Drew, who's not a member of the Bloodline, really is tight with Heyman after that conversation, he could interfere. So that's the only lingering thing.
You know what would be a real mindfuck?
What's that?
Somehow night 1 ends, and Rollins and Cody are so badly beaten that neither one are able to perform at night 2. And you end up getting The Rock versus Roman.
My God. They just put them through tables and light them on fire. And it's like,
could you imagine how pissed people would be?
What about Damian?
My God.
What about Damian
so
Priest? What about Damian Priest cashing in night 1?
I was just going to say that.
And he main events against Roman Reigns.
Oh, because
no,
I was thinking.
I mean,
no. Cash-ins on Rollins, and he main events against McIntyre.
Yep.
You change that match.
The main event on
that
night
would
1.
be interesting.
Yep.
Well, so here's the weird thing. According to what I have here, that was it for night 1 matches. And the way this is written, Seth Rollins against Drew McIntyre is night 2 and potentially opening night 2.
Well, that would make sense to me, because obviously you're going to have Cody Roman as the main event. So you got to open with that match.
That sucks for Rollins, though. He main events and then opens.
Well,
you ever work in the restaurant business?
He's going to
you close and then you open. Yeah,
he's going to main event. He's going to open. He's going to win. or no. Drew McIntyre is going to win, and Damian cashes in, and Drew gets screwed again.
And Seth has to refill the ketchup bottles in the morning and at night.
Row of losses at WrestleMania.
Who closed last night?
Yeah.
But you know what?
got done here. Who closed? And Seth's
Rollins doesn't need to win either night.
No.
It doesn't hurt him
saying.
at all. You know what I mean? Like,
what I think we can expect.
I'm just trying to think out loud. I don't. Besides, I mean, the Miz's shitty posting that he took last year. There's never been a wrestler to lose 2 nights simultaneously in the fact of all this WrestleMania, the double nighters, and Seth's going to be the one to lose twice.
wow.
I mean,
has anybody ever competed twice?
I mean, how long has 2 Night Mania been going on?
Danielson competed twice in the same show.
2 Night Mania has only been going on for what, 3 years?
Yeah.
So
I can only think of
like I said, like aside from WrestleMania 4, WrestleMania 10, they had wrestlers competing in the same night multiple times.
Hogan wrestled twice.
I think there's a first time for everything, and Rollins doesn't really get hurt if he loses.
4 times in one night at 4.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for the right. So
What-
you can.
What I
wrestle
think we
multiple
can expect though is Rollins, especially in the tag match, is going to troll someone. Like I heard someone say, like Rollins should come out either as the original Rocky Maivia, or
Yeah, I can see
or
that.
as Rock with the fanny pack.
No, I think he's going to come out with his tights that are going to have the same pattern and colors, like the blue and black and blue checkered whatever tribal thing that looked like the old, and probably maybe some tassels and shit to look like
Yeah.
Maivia. That's a good call.
Get his hair up too, and that would be great.
Yeah, do
What
the
do we got next?
I just can't take him seriously. So like whatever. So that was the other night one, Bloodline, Rollins. Bloodline against Rollins and Cody. Rather, night 2 is Rollins defending against McIntyre, World Heavyweight Championship on the line. We have a couple things in play for this match, not just the finish, but whether or not Damian Priest gets involved, whether or not he gets involved to make it a triple threat as a throwback to Seth Rollins' original cash-in, or if he waits until the end of the match and is an ultimate opportunist, as they call him, and then cashes in immediately after the deciding fall. Steve, what do you think?
I think Drew McIntyre will win. And I think Damian's cashing in, and I think Drew gets screwed again.
Do you think Punk has
And-
anything to do with Drew losing?
There's
he
a
should be
very
on
strong
commentary.
there's a very strong possibility of that. A distraction, even. Like, it doesn't have to be anything physical.
Right, because if he's not
You know.
cleared, yeah. He could just stand up and distract him or get up on
But the
the
interesting
apron.
thing for that though is that Punk is kind of like has beef with both guys.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but what's his name can't keep him out of his mouth though. Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre's been
Like he's
nonstop.
on him.
Right.
Like
He-
every
still.
week.
Yeah, for sure.
I could see it being that Rollins actually goes over McIntyre, and then him and Punk does like cost him the match, and Rollins is just exhausted over 2 matches, night and opening, and all of a sudden, what's his name comes out, beats him up a little bit, and cashes in.
Yeah,
That way
unfortunately,
he doesn't lose his twice.
yeah. So Al, unfortunately, we're in a position where both of these guys need a win at WrestleMania, and neither of them are going to get it.
Oh,
Like,
I
yeah.
have a
Only
que-
one of them is going to get it potentially. You know what I mean? Like Seth
They
really
do
needs
that
a win.
lot with people like they put 2 people in a feud that both need the win equally, and it's like
Like one of the upcoming matches, LA Knight and AJ Styles.
how many
It's the same
times did
thing.
they do that to Bray Wyatt?
Yo, that was ridiculous. Bray Wyatt, I was at WrestleMania 30. There was no reason for him to lose that match against John Cena. John Cena would still be just as over the next night. That would have cemented Bray. Who knows what Bray Wyatt, I mean, he already had a great career, but imagine if him getting put over by John Cena at WrestleMania 30 would have done for him in the immediacy of that.
Yeah, sure.
Wild. I'm still mad about that. So,
What was next?
Io Sky
just
defending
one
her
thing,
women's championship against Bayley. What's that?
Sorry, just one thing really quick about the Drew
Yeah.
Seth match. The
Yeah.
next pay-per-view, the one at the castle thing or whatever that they were talking
Oh,
about,
Clash at the Castle. Yes.
that's in Glasgow,
Oh.
Scotland.
Actually, I have a question. How
So
many times
there
has the Money in the
might
Bank
be a
failed?
possibility of Drew retaining until Scotland. That's the only reason
Or-
why I haven't got 100% on a cash in.
Or Cat, he wins at WrestleMania, he gets cashed in on, and then he goes into Scotland as the challenger and wins the title in Glasgow.
Yes, that'll
That's a
be
good
nuts.
point. Yep.
So maybe we get a
I
cash
stand
in on
corrected.
Drew. Either one way or another, Drew's in the main event of that show. So
Or like
As
you
long
said,
as Tyson Fury's not, I'm okay.
Vince, like you said before, I think pay tribute back to Rollins. I think the fact that
Make it a triple
Damon
threat.
can cash in and pin Rollins, and he gets screwed that way and challenges him at the Clash, I think that'll be awesome if he goes in as the challenger that way because he
Mitch.
never lost.
True.
Mitch, you had a question.
Yeah. How many times has someone failed cashing in on Money in the Bank briefcase?
3? Is it 3?
Damian Sandow.
So
Very,
Sandow, I
few.
forgot
yeah.
about that.
Sandow had one. Barrett.
The Miz failed once,
Didn't
right?
Cena have one?
Cena had one.
Yeah, Cena had one.
So
Yes.
not very
So
often.
No, it's
Sandow,
it's
Miz,
very
and
few.
Cena.
It's like an 80% success rate, basically.
Yeah.
So what if the Judgment
And
Day is
Corbin.
breaking up? What if Damien tries to cash in and the bloodline interferes, so Drew retains, and then it rolls into if it's a no
They
bloodline.
helped
That's
Drew.
possible.
Drew's gonna help
Yeah.
Roman. Mm.
Yeah.
That's not a bad theory. I mean, that could definitely work. Dave Abbey over at Facebook. I don't get the Night Styles match.
You come up with some good shit.
Right? Silent
I
killer
don't-
over there.
I don't get the Night Styles match at all.
No.
No, there's
Yeah.
really no rhyme or reason, but I do think it's going to be a good match. If I had to pick, and again, I agree. I don't remember who said it, but these are two guys that really could use a win. I got to go with LA Knight on this one.
Same.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
gonna agree.
Yeah.
He shouldn't lose. I mean, you put him in you put him at WrestleMania in a one-on-one match. You're really doing it for him, not AJ Styles, because he's already AJ Styles. You're doing this for the guy that needs to stay hot, which is LA Knight.
Not to be ticky tack, but I've seen AJ defend the title at WrestleMania. So like he's had a WWE Championship match or two at WrestleMania. So he's
to you.
This is LA Knight's night to
Not to mention,
try to
AJ's
become that
had,
next guy.
A bunch of
Yeah.
WrestleManias under his belt already.
yeah, AJ had that match with what was in Orlando? Was it him and Shane? Him and Shane had a good one. I think
Very
it was.
good one.
Yeah, that was that
Mentioned
open.
Jericho?
Jericho. That was the night Jericho Kevin Owens, right? Same night.
I
Same
think
Ro-
so,
I
yeah.
think it was the same WrestleMania. Anyway, yeah, LA Knight, AJ Styles. It's got to be for me. It's got to be LA Knight. I'm surprised because they threw the stipulation of the Philadelphia Street Fight, aka your ECW tribute match, over to the 6-man match that's coming up later in night 2. There was speculation that the ECW tribute match was going to be LA Knight against AJ Styles, which I wouldn't have hated either.
Yeah, that would have been a good
that's
one.
obviously-
If they did
yeah.
a hardcore match and got whatever.
Should be a
'Cause
good match.
Yeah, that should be a good straight up singles match. Io Sky defending her championship against Bailey.
Bailey all the way.
Gotta be,
That would
I
be
mean,
Bailey's night.
it's
Bayley.
gotta be
Gotta be
Bailey's night. I mean,
Go
First,
Io.
has she ever won a WrestleMania match? Or she ever had it? She never had a singles WrestleMania match, right?
Not a
no,
single.
she had a 3-way, 4-way,
She
something.
never had a singles title
No,
match at Mania.
she's never had one.
No, it was always because it was
Wow.
it was
He's
the
never
one
gone
where
into Mania the champion besides the tag team belts.
right there was the horsewomen match that she was involved in where Snoop came out with Sasha, but Charlotte won that one.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, she's never been involved. Bailey, I mean, I think everybody, Bailey's
Everyone's
the
going
choice
Bayley.
here.
And
They need to promote. I don't understand this. They really didn't. I feel like they're giving Bailey the shaft, like with the advertisements and the commercials and shit. It's like, come on, man.
and don't get me wrong, because like I think that I know that this is not going to be a thing, and nor should they do it full time afterwards. But for just one moment, 1 second, I'm saying if Bailey came out with her original entrance, she'd get a big fucking pop.
I definitely think they're the tube men, the Wavy Wacky inflatable tube men are coming out. There's no
Yeah, the huggers
no doubt in my
section,
mind.
yeah.
Just I'm saying even just to work it in a little bit, not to have that again, but just
I bet you Izzy's gonna be there. They're gonna show Izzy all grown up.
Listen, she's making some noise on the indie scene right now. So
That'd be cool if they could make her be able to come out with her. Like
That'd
if
be
Izzy was the one, if Damage Control is helping Io, imagine if it was Izzy
Oh
that
my
came
God,
to
Fan out, that would be wild. I don't know if anybody would realize who it was until she. I don't know. I think they'd get it though.
people would know
But
who
if
it
you
is.
have it on the mic, on the commentators going, wait, that's Izzy. That you know what I mean? That'll pick up something.
Well, but it's more for the crowd to know because they're
Yeah.
the ones that you can't hear the commentary when you're there live. But I think people would know who she is.
I think they would know who she is. Yeah.
Dave
Yeah.
Abbey, I'd love to see Dakota get kicked out of Damage Control after they lose and help Bailey beat Io. I'm not hating that idea either. I think that's
That
a
could
good
be
call.
it, man.
I
That
like
could be it.
I like that.
I
I
like
mean, to be honest, Dakota is kind of out of place.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't tell me that she understands everything they're saying either. So isn't she like fucking New Zealand? She's from New Zealand. Or something?
Yeah, that's specific ish.
It's like adjacent.
Isn't she
whatever.
Yeah, it's
fucking
I mean-
what the hell is that?
Well, I'm saying New Zealand's closer to Japan than we are, right? I don't know. I mean, maybe
Isn't
they're
that
not.
considered
The
Asian?
neighbors.
No, that's Eastern Europe, right? Still,
Please, can you imagine
It's
Dakota doing like the
wait.
Bushwhacker March?
what is that?
Eating
Over there? Isn't that
sardines.
Asian?
It's OC.
Belgium.
Technically, Australia and New Zealand comprise the continent of what? Oceania, and then
Yes.
which is like to the south. So it's like South Pacific, and then from the South Pacific you have Oceania, which is New Zealand and Australia.
What do we got next?
Logan Paul defending his United States Championship against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in a triple threat.
I got to go with Orton.
Same.
Logan.
But anyway,
I think it's either I think
it's
I think it's either Orton or Logan's keeping the belt, but I'm gonna go Orton.
Logan's keeping the belt because A-Town Down Under is going to help him because they're his boys. And they all have beef with Kevin and Randy.
Okay, I liked everything you had up until
Wow.
now, Mitch.
But
it's good.
but
I
he
mean,
may not be necessarily off base
Not
either.
far off.
I know.
He's not
Yeah.
wrong. I mean, I hate
not
to
wrong.
say it, but he's not wrong.
I hate the
He's got a
idea,
good
but he's
point.
not wrong.
Right.
I hate
They're
the
the most
idea.
annoying people in WWE right now. But you have to watch them.
Is he more annoying than Cody Rhodes to you?
No one's more annoying than Cody Rhodes.
My boy.
Next.
The whole thing with, and I'll just briefly on Logan. I would have picked title change if it was a singles match. Triple threat just tells me there's shenanigans afoot.
That's
and
true.
Logan Paul can sneak a win. As I mentioned earlier, a 6-man Philadelphia street fight. We have the Pride. Let's see. Against, I mean, right? That's the Pride, right? Like Pride Rock, like everything the light touches is your kingdom. I love it. So
For a
against
second, I thought that was one of Steve's voice things. I had to really pay attention.
It was
Like,
good.
wait the fuck a minute.
oh man, that's
That
funny.
was awesome.
Against the Final Testament. So
Is there a reason we
okay, so
should record Vince doing that?
I hope not. I'm gonna get no. So the
Flip it.
Pride is Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford with B-Fab. The Final Testament cross a common Razor with Scarlett, so you have some potential for that. The women getting involved, and Paul Ellering there at ringside as well.
I'm gonna go with Cross and
Yep.
his
Yeah,
team.
Final Testament.
Final
They
Testament. Yep.
they need it more than
They
the Profits
need it.
do.
I mean, listen, I think there's a world in which the Street Profits get a win at this WrestleMania and the Final Testament get a win at this WrestleMania, but not if they're in a match with each other. You're right. The Final Testament
mean, I'll
to
be
establish.
I would much rather have the Street Profits in that tag team ladder match.
Oh, for sure. I saw them at that
Yes.
one in was it NXT 25 in Bridgeport or NXT 30 in Bridgeport, and they had a ladder match with the Forgotten Sons and
Dave Abbey says Cross never wins the big one. This
true.
is where things turn around, Dave.
It has to.
WrestleMania, Cross is going over.
as long as he doesn't bring out the chainmail skirt.
the
Right? That
dominatrix
was-
outfit.
I don't know if Mitch, you weren't around for that. We'll find a picture. It's stupid. And then our main event. So it is either going to be a straight up singles match with the Bloodline barred from ringside, or it will be a Bloodline rules match, depending on the finish of the main event of night 1. But the main event of night 2 is Roman Reigns defending his undisputed Universal Championship against Cody Rhodes. Yes, it was a gimp mask that Karrion Kross. It was definitely a gimp mask.
It is
Uh,
going to be a Bloodline rules match, and I think Cody finishes his story.
Will he have a great equalizer like Stone Cold or something?
Yes, I think something's happening. I think you're going to.
You don't think it's just going to be like Jey Uso or
Could be
anything like that?
Actually, you know who I think? I was just going to say, I think
Goldust?
Dustin Rhodes is getting the okay to be there. I think Dustin's going to get involved. I do.
I think Dustin would have gotten the okay until CM Punk went on that MMA hour and said all that shit about AEW. So I was definitely on board with that theory up until, what was it, earlier today, sometime yesterday? Yeah.
Knowing WWE,
I don't think that's
though,
going to have
they would.
anything to do with anything when it comes to Dustin coming to support his brother.
I mean, it's a bad look to be like, okay, this guy, one of their employees just talked shit about your company and said you're not a real company, and then you're going to let one of your contracted guys go work WrestleMania. Like, I don't. Part of me thinks that I still think there's an outside chance it'll happen. But
Let me
part
tell
of
you something. The only reason why I think it will happen is because no matter what, Tony Khan is a fan of pro wrestling, and I think he would see the bigger picture. And because of this storyline and what's going on, and I'm pretty sure he still has a decent relationship with Cody in some way, I think they made it work somehow. And I'm sure there's going to be compensation thrown their way or something.
They'd have to get a trade, like somebody would have to show up on a Dynamite or a pay-per-view or something.
Maybe.
That would be a nice make good. But we'll see what happens with that. I mean, he's got, that's the thing. They've been pushing this finish the story thing. Yes, Bloodline wins, Cody wins. Sorry, Al. And again, I just to me, Triple H has the opportunity to do the funniest fucking thing in the world and make this 2-year build of Cody's to finish the story into one more match to feed the beast of Roman Reigns breaking the record for the longest championship reign. MJF costs Cody the title. Now that's interesting.
Dave Abbey, you know what? I wouldn't hate it. I still don't think I don't think that he signed with WWE, but listen, that would be a mindfuck if you see MJF come out and cost Cody prevent him from finishing his story. It would be I
would love nothing more.
Wasn't there April Fool's Day joke yesterday about that contract?
There was Sportskeeda put something up that said MJF has signed a long-term deal, and then the first line in the comments was April Fool's Day. But listen, you never know. But on all that, ladies and gentlemen, we are way above the top of the hour.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. I think
I was not asked.
That's right. That's right. Al, hold on. Let's make this.
Blue Hell is going to win the main event.
Let's make this official.
WrestleMania, and I am upset.
Al Montedesca.
Now you're gonna have to start WrestleMania 15 minutes late for your shenanigans. All
right, Al. Who wins the main event? Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes.
It doesn't matter who wins as long as it's not Cody Rhodes.
Acknowledge me.
Cody Rhodes will not win. He will get screwed. Who? I don't know. He might get screwed by his own goddamn brother, but he is not winning WrestleMania. He's not. Vince, what are the 2 rules in fucking wrestling?
You never headbutt a Samoan, and a Rhodes will never win the WWE Championship.
Thank you. I rest my case.
And if you get rolled, if somebody tries to roll you up in a sunset flip, you have to do the hula, and you won't get pinned. That's the other rule.
But the Rhodes rule was under Vince McMahon's regime. This is no longer the rule era of Vince McMahon.
And maybe this is what Triple H's statement will be by having Cody win and, uniting the Bloods and the Crips and whatever else they think this is going to do, solve world peace and all this other shit.
Here's why
Oh my God, I can't bear to watch this guy fucking keep crying on TV.
He's going to cry on Sunday night. He's going to cry on Monday night. He's going to show up on Friday. He's going to show up on Friday with tears already in his eyes because he was crying in a hotel room. He's going to cry until SummerSlam when The Rock beats him for the title, and then he's going to cry after that happens.
There's 2 reasons why I think Cody will or should win, and this is because I'm fucking sick of hearing him complaining. So at least we can get that over with. He finally won it. We don't have to hear about it. Move on. And I'm sorry, if it wasn't for The Rock, the Bloodline would be fucking boring as shit right now.
Right.
I don't agree with. I don't agree with that.
I don't know. Before Rock came back, Roman was. I'm bored with this. Just end it already. End our misery. Put it on a guy that will actually be there to defend the belt.
You are in the minority on that one, I believe, my friend.
Yeah, but
keep in mind though, the reason we felt that way is because he wasn't present. If this was a story, honestly, between him and Cody and him being this present, I think I will still be this intrigued because he's there, even if he's not wrestling, but he's present. The thing is, when he's not there for weeks, that sucks.
Well, that was that's what I haven't really liked about the build up to this match is for now, it seems like all of the heat is with The Rock and Cody Rhodes,
Yeah,
and Roman's
the
just
whole
kind of
match
there
is
for the
being
ride.
overshadowed
And-
by everything else.
Which also might give away the finish because it's almost like, okay, we're done. It's like the thing with Toy Story and I'm done with you. I'm done playing with you now. And then he drops Woody. And it's like, okay, well, we're done. They're already just done with Roman Reigns as of,
But
2 weeks
honestly-
ago. And we're moving
Honestly,
on.
I think that even if Cody does win, he's not going to hold it like at the most like SummerSlam. Then he'll drop it, and that'll be it.
No,
Wow,
there's no,
no
way
way.
he's gonna have it
No.
1
No
month.
way. I think he holds it till the
1
next
month. That's
WrestleMania.
4 months.
Even
4 or
4
5
months. Even 4 months.
Even
There's
4
no
months
way.
is too small. Nope, they're not
I
going to do that.
think he holds
Too
it a year.
long. That's way too long for him to hold the belt.
He's gonna if he wins the title, he is holding that title probably until damn near close to Mania next year.
I
there's no
I
way
disagree,
he's
Steve. I think he loses it by SummerSlam or earlier, only because
Oh, there's no way.
here's the problem. Everybody's going to come on Sunday. And then what happens after you come? It's called post-nut clarity. And then on Monday, after you're all drained of your cum, you're going to go, holy shit, Cody Rhodes from Legacy with the stupid mustache is your world champion. You're going to go, wait a minute. What the fuck did we do? And then you're going to wait for somebody to get the title off of him. And then you're going to have to get all worked up again for him to win the title at WrestleMania from Gunther or The Rock.
Well,
They have to. You have to get soft in order to get hard again. So
well,
Cody's got to lose. He's got to lose the title before next
and-
WrestleMania, so you can come again next WrestleMania.
I will say this. Now that Vince has busted his load, it is top of the hour.
I'm just saying. And whoever said Stardust, it should have said Star Nut. Anyway,
That was Dave Abbey.
Right, we're gonna go. People are gonna wake up on Monday morning and go, "Shit, Stardust is the world champion. Why did we cheat? Why did we cheer so hard?" Anyway, no.
It'll
see
be
what
a
happens.
Glad I don't
dashing
have to
evening.
bust a nut any day of my life.
Take us home.
Shut up, Vince.
I'm just gonna say, what
This
I'm
is
doing
getting
is
very
I'm
X-rated now.
I'm mentally swiping through all of the things I shouldn't say right now. I'm just brushing them out of my field of view. Listen, we got to figure out what's going to go on here. Well, stay tuned to the social media for the War Report because we might end up doing a weekend, like a Sunday afternoon show, because otherwise we're going to have to review Mania night 1 and 2 and the Raw after on Tuesday. And even if we did Tuesday and then Wednesday, like I just feel like Tuesday and Wednesday would be clunky. Like we might drop it on Sunday. So just stay tuned to the social media. We could do an afternoon show. It might not be the full crew. It might just be a couple of us. We don't know. We'll play that by ear. We'll talk. Right. We'll talk in the group chat and then we'll see what's going on. For those of you in Connecticut, tune in to 99.1 WPLR on Monday morning at 6:20. I'll be calling in with Chaz and AJ in the morning. I'll be providing a top 10 WrestleMania moments of all time, top 10 list, and doing a live on-air review of this year's WrestleMania Nights 1 and Night 2. And that's Monday morning at 6:20. I'm also in studio next Thursday if you guys are playing along at home. Follow us on social media at Tag Me a Date is all of our social medias. That's Instagram and Facebook and Twitter/X and YouTube. It's all at Tag Me a Date. If you type Tag Me a Date into the search bar on YouTube, you can hit subscribe and then hit the bell. We've got way more people tuning in today than usual days, and I think it's because it's the lead up to WrestleMania. We really appreciate you coming in. You can see we have the chats here for the Twitch, for the YouTube, and the Facebook. Please feel free next week when we're reviewing WrestleMania, come back, hop in the chat, provide your comments, provide your review, so we're not just six dummies talking about what we think. If you think, if you have an opinion that's opposing us, please drop it in the comments. We would love it if you went and subscribe to the War Report, or the Tag Me a Date YouTube. On YouTube, it's Tag Me a Date. So hit subscribe and hit the bell. On twitch.tv, it's War Report. All one word, WARREPORT, twitch.tv/War Report. Otherwise, it's Tag Me a Date everywhere. Tag Me a Date. Tag. We really appreciate everybody tuning in. This is very cool. We want to thank our usual commenters, David and Dave and Tara, and who else was in here? Ryan was in the comments today. I'm sure there was somebody else that I might have missed. Kevin might be in there. But we really thank you guys for providing the comments. Thank you. And
Dave Abby.
just listen, guys, we do this every week, every Tuesday at 9 a.m. we go, or 9 p.m. rather, Eastern time, we go live. So if this is your first taste of the show and you want to tune back in, come on back next week. We're going to be talking about the fallout from WrestleMania and what that means for the rest of the year and the build up to next year. So please come on back. Follow us at Tag Me Date on social media. And if you prefer an audio podcast, like if you just want to subscribe to an MP3 version of the podcast, go to your favorite podcast app, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcast. Type in Tag Me Date, type in the War Report Wrestling Podcast, whatever. You'll find it. The icon and the description will have Tag Me a Date's logo or name on there, and the description on the podcast will have our names, Vince, Steve, whatever, Eric, all of our names are, you'll know by the description of the podcast that it's us. Excuse me. The audio version, the MP3 version, goes up within an hour of us going off the air. Ryan's very nice enough to grab that for us and upload it. And otherwise, we do this live every Tuesday, 9 p.m. on Eastern time. We talk wrestling. This is a very WWE heavy week when it swings around the other way, and when AEW is doing big business, which they are, but like this is WrestleMania week, so we had to make some cuts. But we talk about everything. We talk about AEW, we talk about New Japan, we talk about indies, all kinds of stuff, and we talk about cum, apparently lots of cum. But great show. Thank you. Have a great night. Thank you. Yeah, cream fraiche rather. But yes, to everybody who's watching live, again, this is like double or triple the number of people who's usually tuning in live. Come back next week. We're going to be right here. Whatever you're tuning in on, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or whatever, just come right back to this page. Next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be talking the fallout from WrestleMania. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great week. Happy WrestleMania week.